Bible prophecy, the second coming of Jesus and the kingdom of God in Micah. Micah, a prophet contemporary with Amos and Isaiah, delivers a striking apocalyptic vision concerning the coming of the kingdom of God. He opens his prophecy with a declaration of divine intervention. Behold, he will be cometh forth out of his place, and will come down and tread upon the high places of the earth. Micah 1. This passage foreshadows the second coming of Jesus, in whom he will be, Yahweh, will be manifested, along with the resurrected saints. The prophecy speaks of judgment upon Israel and the nations, yet also provides hope for the future restoration of Zion. Judgment and restoration. Micah foretold that because of the sins of Israel and its rulers, Zion would be plowed as a field, Jerusalem would become heaps, and the Temple Mount would be reduced to ruins. Zion shall be plowed like a field, and Jerusalem shall become heaps, and the mountain of the house as the high places of the forest. Micah 3. However, he also speaks of a time when Zion and Jerusalem will be exalted. Just as Isaiah declared, so too does Micah confirm that in the last days, the kingdom of God will be established as the supreme authority over all the earth. He proclaims, in the last days, the mountain of the house of he will be shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow unto it. The kingdom will be a source of divine teaching and righteousness for all nations. For the law shall go forth from Zion, and the word of he will be from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations afar off. At that time, wars will cease and peace will reign. They shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. This is the vision of a restored world under the reign of Jesus and the resurrected saints, in whom he will be is fully manifested. The first dominion restored. Micah prophesied the return of the first dominion, which was lost by Adam. And thou, O tower of the flock, the stronghold of the daughter of Zion, unto thee shall it come, even the first dominion. The kingdom shall come to the daughter of Jerusalem. Micah 4:8. This restoration signifies the fulfillment of the divine plan, where the rule of God is established on earth through Jesus and the saints. However, before this exaltation, Israel must endure exile and tribulation. And thou shalt go even to Babylon, there shalt thou be delivered. There he will be, shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies. Micah 4:10. This prophecy speaks not only of the historical Babylonian captivity, but also of the current dispersion of the lost 10 tribes among the nations. Their final redemption will occur at the second coming, when the scattered people of Israel are gathered back to their land. The birthplace of the Messiah. Micah pinpointed Bethlehem as the birthplace of the Messiah. But thou, Bethlehem Ephratah, though thou be little among the thousands of Judah, yet out of thee shall he come forth unto me that is to be ruler in Israel. Micah 5 verse 2. Though Jesus was rejected by his people, Micah foretold that he would ultimately return in glory to establish his reign. Therefore will he give them up until the time that she which travaileth hath brought forth. Then the remnant of his brethren shall return unto the children of Israel. The phrase, she which travaileth, refers to Zion's suffering before the final redemption. The Messiah's return will lead to the reunification of Israel and the resurrection of the faithful. Israel as a lion among the nations. In the latter days, the restored Israel will no longer be a weak nation among the Gentiles, but will rise in power. And the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles in the midst of many people as a lion among the beasts of the forest. Micah 5:8. This transformation symbolizes the authority and strength of the resurrected saints, who alongside Jesus will execute divine judgment upon the nations. A time of trouble and the rising again of the one they pierced. Before this glorious future, Micah foresaw great suffering. For the son dishonoreth the father. The daughter riseth up against her mother, the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies are them of his own house. 6. Yet, amidst betrayal and darkness, the prophecy also contains hope. Speaking of Jesus, Micah declares, Rejoice not against me, O mine enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. When I sit in darkness, he shall be a light unto me. This is a direct reference to the resurrection of Jesus, which foreshadows the resurrection of the saints at his return. The gathering of the lost tribes. Micah prayed for the restoration of Israel. Feed thy people with thy rod, the flock of thine heritage, which dwell solitarily in the wood, in the midst of Carmel. Let them feed in Bashan and Gilead, as in the days of old. He will be answered, revealing that Israel's final exodus would be like their departure from Egypt. According to the days of thy coming out of the land of Egypt, will I shew unto him marvelous things. The return of the lost 10 tribes and their reunification with Judah will be a miraculous event, demonstrating divine power before the nations. The final redemption and vengeance upon the nations. In the end, the nations will be humbled. The nations shall see and be confounded at all their might. They shall lay their hand upon their mouth, their ears shall be deaf. He will be manifested in Jesus, and the resurrected saints will fulfill the covenant made with Abraham and Jacob. He will turn again. He will have compassion upon us. He will subdue our iniquities, and thou wilt cast all their sins into the depths of the sea. Thou wilt perform the truth to Jacob and the mercy to Abraham, which thou hast sworn unto our fathers from the days of old. Micah 7:20. Thus, the prophecy of Micah confirms that the kingdom of God will be established on earth at the second coming of Jesus. The restoration of Israel, the gathering of the lost tribes, and the reign of the resurrected saints alongside Jesus will bring about the fulfillment of God's promises, ensuring peace, justice, and divine rule over all nations.